You must aim at what you want to hit. If you don't aim at what you want to hit, you can end up hitting anything and everything. What is your dream? Are there things that you would love to do in your life someday? Like maybe write a book, earn lots of money, have a great relationship with someone. Maybe you want to own a motorhome. Or maybe you want to finally make that job change and do the job you've always wanted to do. Are there places you'd love to visit, like Australia, Alaska, Fiji, or Japan? Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to finally free yourself from the jaws of smoking, drinking, or taking drugs. It is great to have dreams and desires in our lives. But why is it that much of what we desire never happens? There is one condition that holds us back from achieving what we want to achieve. This very sly condition that subtly creeps into our lives is very subtle, very sneaky. This debilitating personal condition can be summed up in two phrases: self-pity and self-contempt. Self-pity or self-sympathy and self-contempt or self-hatred come from negative experiences in our lives. These experiences can come from two sources. First, let's say there's something that you have done or something I have done which I regret. For an example, let's say you said something very offensive to someone that really hurt their feelings, and afterwards you really regretted what you said. If you don't clear that up with the person, it can lead to self-hatred. How does this happen? Well, when you say that very offensive thing to a person, don't clear it up, your mind begins to tell you that you are a person that says offensive things to people. You don't communicate well to people. This can happen in your mind very subtly. And then the eventual result is that you hate yourself for what you said. The second source is something which you have done beyond your control, or something that's happened to you beyond your control that you regret. An example of this could be you're driving down the road, heading to the beach, minding your own business, and a drunk driver suddenly crosses the road, hits you head on, and causes you serious personal injury. Because of your injuries, your career as a professional musician is broken to pieces. You feel sorry for yourself. You spend the next 10 years going from meaningless job to meaningless job. What happened? Well, this is what happens. Your mind tells you that the negative experience that happened to you causes you to stop your progress. You have to take charge of that situation and turn it around and reap the positive benefits from that situation. And then what happens is that you tell yourself, if you're still thinking about the negative aspects of what happened, your mind says, if only I hadn't gotten in the car accident. Now, if you hear yourself saying if onlys, watch out, because the pity party has already begun. Don't let the if onlys even enter into your mind. Have you ever had your grandmother or your mom or maybe a good friend say to you, stop pitying yourself and get up and do something about it? And now that's a pretty stern reproof that most of us don't like to hear, but it is true. The problem is, how do we stop feeling sorry for or hating ourselves, and what can we do to avoid it in the future? There's an ancient proverb that says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And let me add, so that I'm not labeled as a male chauvinist, as a woman thinketh, so is she. You must take charge of your thinking. Establish your own thoughts. How? By writing out positive statements about yourself. Write down all the positive aspects you can write and think about, at least 20 or more of them about yourself. Then write out another list of 20 or more possible attributes that you'd like to have in your life, the person that you'd like to become. Then take these statements, put them in the active present tense. And what I mean by that is, let's say you want to be a better listener. Instead of saying or writing down, I will be a better listener, put it in the active present tense and say, I am striving daily to become a better listener, or I am consistently working hard at becoming a better listener. If you put it in the I will tense, then it puts it off into the future for someday, and someday never comes. You must put it in the active present tense. Read them out loud to yourself daily with enthusiasm. Next, you must convert your negative experiences into positive assets for yourself. How can you do that? By asking yourself the question, What can I benefit? What can I reap from this negative experience that's taken place in my life? Then what you can do is sit down and write out a list of all the possible benefits. Even if they seem far-fetched, write them down. Write down all the benefits you can gain from every experience in your life. Make that list long as you can possibly make it and read them to yourself and believe that you can achieve and turn the situation around. To be able to do this converts that process in your mind to take the negative and convert it into positives so that you can use the experience in your life. Now, what happens after you convert the things into positive use? You begin to change your thinking, begin to establish new thoughts, begin to act in a different way. Sometimes the negative experiences can cause serious scars in our hearts. These serious scars can prevent you from achieving all that you want to achieve in your life. Many people have been able to take negative experiences and convert them into positive assets in their lives. The tragic kidnapping of Sarah Ann Wood could have caused her family to live the rest of their lives in self-pity and self-contempt. Even though they have pain, that pain of scars on their heart because their daughter is gone, they've taken that situation and turned it into a beneficial situation where they now help other people who face tragic circumstances with members lost in their family. The list goes on. I have a close friend whose business was over $13 million in debt. It took him over 8 years to get out of that debt and start a new life for himself. Walt Disney, he went bankrupt twice before he ever hit success. Oksana Bayul, she rose above the sad circumstances and childhood experiences in her life to become a world champion figure skater. Annie Sullivan, she rose above the tragic life of her own to bring life to Helen Keller.